Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So in this video, what I want to do is share with you some things that you want to avoid or never do if you have 4C hair. Now, if you do not have 4C hair or you're not sure what your hair type is, please stay tuned and watch the rest of this video because the tips I share can help you no matter what your hair type is. So with that being said, let's get into this video. So what I'm going to do is split this video into two sections. We're going to focus on preventing breakage and shedding when you are washing your hair. There's so many tips that I can share on that. I'm going to focus on the most important ones. And then what we're going to do is talk about styling and protecting your hair, how to prevent breakage when you are styling and protecting your hair. So the first group that I'm going to start off with is when you are wetting and washing and detangling your hair. So let's get into that. Now, for people with 4C hair and the type 4 hairs in general, when water gets on our hair, it shrinks up. If we do not put water on our hair properly, it can become a disaster. So there were a few things that I realized really work and really don't work, and these are some things that you want to avoid if you are going through your wash day. One of the first things that you want to make sure that you're doing on wash day is that you separate your hair into sections. It is very important that if you have longer, thicker hair, that you are not just jumping into the shower and washing your hair all at the same time. People can do it. People have gotten away with it. I'm saying for the majority of people I've counseled in phone consultations, people who I've written to, comments that have been left, it's very unlikely that people with 4C hair can jump into the shower, get it wet, wash it, rinse it, and be able to detangle it without knots, tangles, and without it being super matted. So one thing that I learned as I was growing my hair is if you put your hair in sections, I don't care if it's 4 sections or even 2 sections, sections will really help you to preserve your hair strands. It will help you to reduce knots and tangles, which will help you to reduce breakage. So one thing that I realized back in the day was that you do not want to try to detangle your hair when you are already in the shower washing your hair. So one of the biggest things that I realized that I was doing with my 4C hair when it was way shorter was that I would go in the shower and I would just wash my hair normally. That was fine. However, as my hair got longer, the 6 inches, the 7 and 8 inches, I realized that going in the shower and just washing my hair without detangling it first, without separating it, caused a lot of knots and tangles. If you try and detangle your hair once you're already in the shower, your hair is going to be shrinking up on you. So every time you try and detangle, it's going to keep trying to shrink back up, and that's going to cause a world of tangles and knots, and you really want to avoid that at all costs. So one thing that I made sure that I did was I detangled my hair as well as I could outside of the shower. Then when I went into the shower, I proceeded to do the rest of my wash day. Now, when you are in the shower, if at all possible, depending on the length of your hair or depending on how many sections you have, try and wash your hair in those sections. I'm telling you, if you have 4C hair, washing your hair in sections is going to save you a lot of hassle. When I wash my hair now, I do something that I was not doing previously when my hair was shorter. Remember when I told you when my hair was shorter, I could just wash my hair and it's teeny weeny afro and it was okay. As my hair got longer, what I realized I had to do was I had to keep it stretched. When I was washing, you know, once again, I would take out the twist that it was in and I would wash my scalp. I would keep it stretched out. So I would not allow it to shrink all the way back up into its little afro because that will cause tangles. So remember, when you're washing your scalp, hold the ends as firmly as possible away from your root, stretch it out, and then wash your root and then rinse in the same downward motion and then twist it back up and then pin it out of the way. I realize if you wash your hair stretched, then you will once again reduce your hair from shrinking back up into that afro, and you will keep more hair on your head. You will not be causing breakage. So if you are able to master this wash day, I'm telling you, your hair will grow and it will thrive, and you will notice a lot less breakage and shedding. Now, since we are on the topic of washing and getting your hair wet, another tip that you want to make sure that you're doing now that it is summer is you want to make sure that if you are going swimming, you do not go swimming with that afro out. Once again, if you are leaving your hair out in that afro and you're getting it to shrink back into that afro state, you're going to be causing tangles either at the root, at the tips, and once again, that's going to cause breakage when you have to go and detangle that 4C hair. So make sure that if you're going swimming, that your hair is in twists or some sort of protective style. Now, on to styling and protective styles with 4C hair. I was going to a stylist and she was doing my hair. Now, one thing that she did 2 things that I realized do not work well with 4C hair is she would comb my hair when it was dry in its afro state when it was dry. And what she would do is she would get a narrow tooth comb, one of the smallest tooth combs there is, and she would rake through my hair, dry hair, with that comb. Now what I realized is 4C hair in general, you can't use that comb, especially if your hair is not detangled. So maybe there might be a style that you want to do if you're using a flat iron and you want to make sure that it is as straight as possible. So that's probably one of the only times I would say use that narrow tooth comb on your hair strands. However, if you are trying to style your hair, I would not comb out 4C hair with that tiny narrow tooth comb. So that was a huge mistake. You will cause a lot of breakage, a lot of shedding if you're doing those two things. Now 4C hair is so fun to style. There's a lot of styles that it can go into because of its puffy afro state. One style that I like is twist outs, braid outs. A lot of people have experimented with wash and goes. So one tip that I have is when you do certain hairstyles like that, if you do a twist out or a braid out or a wash and go, you want to make sure that you are not keeping your hair out in that style for too long. If you have your little section like this hanging down for let's say a week or two, what you're going to notice is that it stays in this cute little wavy pattern, this little wavy look. However, your new growth that's coming out right at the root, you're going to notice that that starts to clump together and become more locked. You're gonna realize that this whole style, especially at the ends, is gonna like literally twist and lock together on its own. So you want to make sure that if you are putting your hair in a style like a twist out or anything like that, that you are not keeping it in that style for too long. When it comes to styling, one of the things that I notice is I do not style my hair very often. I make sure that I style my hair every 3 to 4 weeks. In between, you can wash with your protective style in, or you know, you can moisturize, do whatever you want to do, but I don't style my hair more than once or twice a month. And I've realized by reducing the amount of times I style my hair has been able to grow and flourish and thrive, and that it's still thick and healthy. Now, one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing when you're protecting your hair when you are going to sleep is that if you have your hair out, if you have your hair in a twist out, a braid out, a wash and go, an afro, you want to make sure that you are not going to sleep on your hair. If you go to sleep on your hair, I am telling you, you will wake up, it will be matted. If you're sweating, it will start knotting at the root. If you're rubbing against your pillow at night or your sheets, it will start locking at the ends, and you're gonna have a world of problems when you wake up in the morning. I know sometimes we're tired and we just need to sleep, but if you just throw on at least a silk scarf or a silk bonnet before you go to bed, you will save your hair from breakage and shedding. I am telling you, I've done it. Lastly, if you are putting in any sort of elastics, make sure that you use the ouchless elastics, not the elastics that have those metal bars like this one. These elastic bands on 4C hair can cause breakage if they are not used properly, if you just try and put them in your hair in a rush, or if you leave them in for too long. You know, if you do use one, like I find that these scrunchies work amazingly for 4C hair, because they are softer and my hair doesn't get wrapped around this that often. My hair, if it was in a ponytail or pigtails or something, these ones are a lot better than these ones. So, you know, those are just some tips if you are trying to grow out your 4C hair, some things that you don't want to do, some things you want to avoid in order to get that amazing growth. Let me know if you have 4C hair and anything that you've noticed works really well with your 4C hair. No matter what the tips are, I would love to hear them in the comments below. So if this video helped you in any ways, please give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody else who has 4C hair and they're struggling to grow their hair, send them this video, share this video with them. If you have any questions or if you want to share anything with me that has worked for you and your 4C hair, leave it in the comment section below. And for those of you who are not subscribed to this channel, go subscribe to this channel. That is how you're going to get some amazing 4C hair growth tips, or just hair growth tips in general. And if you have not followed me on Instagram or Facebook, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because that is how I'm staying connected with you 2017. And besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. Don't be a stranger. Let's stay connected, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.